Hey y'all, so I wanted to make a video. I wasn't gonna make the three like I was doing for a while. I just want to have fun with sub videos, you know what I'm saying? Because listening to an album every day and going through it, kind of not my thing, but I see that a lot of people are receptive over it. To at least come on this channel, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully some of y'all checked out my music because that's the primary focus is like maybe if I show some of my influences and some of what I appreciate and my eclectic taste, uh y'all could, see that inspiration in the music and sort of, what I'm saying, appreciate it from that perspective. But I also want to break down the philosophy of my music as well, not just the aesthetics or the music, because like the sounds of it, because or the technique of it, because the thing is like music is more than just sounds. It is a culture, which is why it will be around forever, even if AI can make the best quote unquote song in the world. Because what's the best quote unquote song in the world is subjective. And typically, when it comes to music, people buy into the artist more than the art itself. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a cultural representation. So what do I represent culturally is what I want to sort of address today. You understand? And what I represent culturally is sort of this breakdown of corporate power structures and the breakdown of culture in general. It's an anarchic view of life. Basically, that where we let ourselves go and we focus mainly on self expression. You understand? And self discovery. So it's an anarchic field with no rules, no nothing. Now, of course, that's with the assumption that everyone watching me, everyone paying attention to me are good people, want the best for humanity. And they should want the best for humanity because if they're capable of reason, they'll understand that they are a part of humanity. They have to want to preserve it, right? And if you want to preserve humanity, if you want to preserve humanity and you're a person of reason and you're about self expression, that's just the logical thing to do. You understand? So all this clout chasing, like where we humiliate ourselves or humiliate others, that's out the window. All this like performative, oh God, this, God, that, like we're trying to discover who God is or what God is through many texts and through many bits of information and through meditation. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the main focus. We're trying to discover. We're not trying to rely on institutions or previous written works that we're quote unquote supposed to follow. We're not trying to fall in line. We're trying to discover. Try to discover. So that's what's happening right here. Dao. Now let me explain my musical style through the Dao. Right. Dao also represents the Chinese philosophy, the path, which can be many things, but in this case, Dao, the D stands for dark. I look into the mysterious, paradoxical, taboo stuff in the world. You understand? And sonically, I'm not afraid of doing things that disturb or cause disruption, which could bring in darkness, or which often does bring in darkness. Artsy. You see what I'm saying? Like the thing with artsy is the corporations and the businesses, they don't want to make it about the art, the creation and the mind. So I am artsy. I am about that. I am about pushing it forward. I am about, you understand, doing something different and creating something through many influences. That's what art and artsy is. Original. I'm not trying to follow an algorithm or follow a hashtag or whatever. I'm original. I'm my own man because it's all about creative expression. It's self discovery. You understand? So that's why we're breaking down the in an anarchic form all of this stuff, but it's an intellectual movement. When I'm saying doubt, it's an intellectual movement. It's not a physical movement. I'm not saying run up into Target and burn it down or anything like that. It's an intellectual movement because when you go on my page and you listen to my message and it resonates with you, you understand that reason and that really that's it. Reason and knowledge is the power, and that breaks apart all the corporate structures, all the power dynamic. They don't know what to do with you, and that's the most powerful thing that you can do is to reason. is to gain knowledge, and with that you see the world as a whole, and then with that you become more empathetic. But people don't want. There's scientific studies to prove that. You know what I'm saying? That reading helps with empathy. So reading and consuming and getting knowledge helps with empathy. So this is not just me saying it. You understand? This is observed. You know what I'm saying? But we're discouraged to read. We're discouraged to seek knowledge for ourselves. We're saying, oh, it's fine. God will take care of it. Oh, it's fine. The institution will take care of it. Oh, it's fine. This other person will take care of it. Well, you're a man of reason, man or woman of reason. You realize that like there's no leader to follow. I said it in my album Jordan. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's no leader we can trust. There's no nothing. So we have to dedicate ourselves to reason. So I want to take this time to make one video where y'all can really sit down and consume that. You consume this video rather than just overload everything. I feel like I overload everything. I can get back to making 3 videos a day, no problem. Those are fun. There's nothing wrong with having fun. And I'm definitely always on the music, consistently practicing my skills. You know what I'm saying? So everything's a consistent development. But I really, really want to make a video just breaking this down to remind y'all what it's about. And it's a musical movement. And the reason why it's a musical movement is because with music, even though a lot of it is audible or it's only audible, it's said like it's auditory by matter of fact. Even though it's an auditory art, it transfers. You can move people with it in a way that like through a rhythm. You can move people through it. People can hear you. There's a signature sound. You remember that. You can hum a melody. So it's primarily a musical movement, and the visuals distract you. You see, if you listen to this video and you're staring at a blank wall, and you're paying attention, you can only hear the message, and you can only hear the thoughts or whatever. Whether I'm joking, whether I'm serious, or whatever. But if you look at that, you probably gonna be distracted by, oh, he's laying in his bed, he has his shirt off, blah blah blah. So that's another thing is that with the music and with speaking and with music, you get straight to the brass tasks of things rather than be distracted by, oh, who has a fancy car, who has the best background, or anything like that. So that's another reason why it's a musical movement. This Tao, you understand? So when I yell Tao, it represents self expression. It represents that freedom from all the cultural, institutional forces and reason. We're going down the path of reason and studying and having knowledge so that we can be free from these chains. You see what I'm saying? Like we could be free from these chains put on to us by society, and we express through music because we tell the truth. You understand? Like we tell the truth, so we don't have to look the fanciest. We don't have to do all that stuff because we rely on the clarity of our ideas and the clarity of our message. You understand? So that's what you understand. You notice how I keep saying you understand, right? Because I have to make sure that people understand me because that's what I rely on. If I'm trying to persuade or if I'm trying to convey a message, it's all about understanding. So I try, even though it's not a real, you're not a real person, yeah, or you are a real person, but like, I'm not talking to a real person, I'm talking to a phone. I have to make sure that what I say is clear and understandable, which is why I kind of hate the 5 minute setup because like I feel like I don't get to say all my opinion, but I want to restrain it to have short form so people can actually get into the message and actually into what I have to say. But a lot of my content requires people to actually sit there and think and ponder for a very long period of time. And I think that's why, having 3 videos a day for someone like me is very overwhelming because even though it's just 5 minutes, I still have a lot of content. So I understand that, and my albums are still being interpreted by people today, even though it's not by a huge amount of people. One day it'll get there, but even though it's not a huge amount of people are still breaking it down because there's a lot of content. So I want y'all to really get reminded of this and really break down and understand this, moving forward. I want to sometimes check in, maybe do some lives later on so people can really check in, get my message, get what I'm saying, and connect with my music and connect with me as a person through that so I can, spread my beliefs in the dark because I really believe what I have right here is going to improve a lot of people's lives and change it for the better. You understand? And you're not following me, you're following the idea. Someone told me today, I was talking to him, he said, uh, keep the message, forget the messenger. I could be flawed tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? But these ideas still stand. So, Dow, hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying, and it's not too confusing. Hopefully it is challenging. It's challenging. Hopefully it inspires you to move in a dialectical way so you guys can understand the paradoxes and the nuances of what I'm saying rather than trying to hop on a new bandwagon. Because it's not a bandwagon. I'm not going viral, but I'm building a big movement of people that are tired of virality. We're tired of the simplicity. We're tired of feeling like flies flocking on candy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we want to have our own path and think with our own mind. Our mind's a huge puzzle. We're only beginning to figure it out. So we want to figure out the mind. We want to figure out what's on the other side of where we're not supposed to go. You know, this whole world is like one big trap prison. We want to go to the other sides of the walls of it. But the only way you can go to the other sides of the walls is use your mind, your imagination, and gain knowledge and come up with all these connections to find solutions in the way you perceive the world. And that's how you can go to a land full of endless possibilities. Depending on what your focus is. Your focus is music. You know what I'm saying? You have to expand your knowledge, expand your reason in order to find new possibilities into the music field. If it's space, you have to do the same thing: knowledge, reason, do all that kind of stuff, just to go to space field or whatever, or to expand your mind and perceive more about space, whatever the case may be, and take those risks and be boundless and not just accept what society has given you because the visionaries are constantly suppressed and the people that are empowered are the narcissists, the thugs, and the people who are have no imagination. So yeah, I want to put that out there. We are against the institutions. We are against the power structures. We are against normality. And these people go around acting like victims, but they're not victims. They're perpetrators of torture and chaos. So, anyways, Dow, make sure y'all listen to this video and listen to my music, listen to other videos. Definitely gonna keep on spreading the good message, and yeah.